Hey, Ralph here. Congrats, you're almost home. For most of you, this will be the morning of day 5. So you made it. You made it to day 5. And, one more day, that's a walk in the park. In fact, chances are this is going to be the easiest day of the entire challenge for you to just downhill for the last day. I'm definitely feeling good. I woke up this morning, I haven't actually checked my ketones, but I'm pretty confident that I'm in ketogenic metabolism. I woke up this morning not hungry at all. I got hungry when I made the kids breakfast, but quickly nipped that in the bud with my Prolon breakfast of an L-bar and hit it with a glycogen drink. And otherwise, I feel good. My energy levels are good. My mood's excellent. Mentally, I feel good. I'm a little tired, but it has nothing to do with the diet. It has to do with the fact that our son is teething, and I got up at 1:30 a.m. last night, and I figured between my wife and I, one of us might as well sleep. So I took our son into the living room and slept on the couch last night with him. So I'm tired because of that, but nothing to do with the diet itself. I feel great. Energy level wise, today is definitely the least hungry day, except for maybe day 1. So kind of like day 1 level of hunger, and energies are good, and I'm really happy. This is the first time doing a extended fast that I've made it all the way to day 5. So it's mid morning here. I'm sorry, mid afternoon here. So I've already had breakfast and lunch, and I just have to get through dinner tonight, and I'm home free. Let's talk a little bit about transition. So most of you will finish your meal today, and tomorrow morning you're going to get up, and the temptation is going to be to go eat something extravagant to celebrate. And I'm going to encourage you not to do that. So here's your plan for tomorrow. When you first get up, before you do anything else, maybe your morning constitution, but otherwise, get up and go weigh yourself. And, I recommend, even if you don't have time for any other measurements, that you take the time to check your waist size and then do a little victory dance, because you're going to find out that you have dropped quite a bit of weight. And I'm going to bet a lot of money for almost all of you will have lost some amount of waist size as well, some abdominal fat. Now, I've said repeatedly, and I'll keep repeating it because I want to manage people's expectations. The weight that you've lost, a lot of that is glycogen that you've burned in muscles and associated water with the glycogen. So you will put that back on when you start refeeding. So 2-3 days from now, your weight will be back up. But it will not be back up, or should not be back up to the same level it was when you started the fast. So, you'll want to weigh again in 3-4 days and see what your real weight loss was. But, tomorrow morning, get up, hit the scale, measure your waist size, and then eat a really light breakfast. Now, the Prolon instructions, which I have in front of me here, say on your transition day to start with liquids like a soup or a juice. I think soup is fine if you want to make soup for breakfast. I think juice is a bad idea because most Americans will opt for some sort of fruit juice, which is going to be really high in simple carbs. A glass of orange juice has more sugar in it typically than a Coca-Cola. So I would skip the juice. Either, soup is fine, although I rarely make soup for breakfast. What I will do for breakfast tomorrow morning is a really thin oatmeal. No milk, water only, and just a light oatmeal for breakfast with a little bit of cinnamon, because cinnamon's good for you, and no sugar at all. So a very light oatmeal. And then for lunch, I will opt for soup of some kind. And for dinner, I'm going to have rice and a little piece of fish and some, steamed broccoli, probably. Depends on what vegetables I find when I head to the market tomorrow. So, something like that, a really light transition day, probably not a full 2,000 calories, or whatever your typical TDEE is. I wouldn't eat the full thing. I'd keep it light. Then, on the following day, so Sunday, you can get back to more or less your normal diet, although I will be back tomorrow with a short video about the longevity diet and a suggestion that rather than go back to your regular diet, that you think about going to the longevity diet instead. So that's up tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow morning with my weigh-in and some notes on my waist size and what abdominal fat it looks like I've lost. and a little conversation about the longevity diet. See you then. Congratulations, you made it to day 5. Just stick it out just one more day and you're home free. See you tomorrow. Bye.